Hi everyone, welcome to our walkthrough of abstract classes in Java. Before we take a look at what abstract classes are, we just want to cover over again that the two ways we've seen how we can declare classes so far is where we require a class to have a definition of all methods and all variables a part of that class declared. This is similar to weeks like 4 to 6. And the other way is that we have interfaces that have declarations of methods but no definitions made. Now, these are two extremes where we either make everything into one class or we make nothing in the other class. And in between these two extremes, we have this notion of an abstract class. So an abstract class is going to be a class that has instance variables and methods. And the important thing about this is that they can either be defined, the variable methods, or they can just be declared. Apologies for this. I'm on a new PDF reader, so it's giving me new options. Outside of making instances, variables, and methods either declared or not declared, we can also go ahead and extend an abstract class to create derived classes. And what these derived classes will do is supply definitions for the undefined abstract methods, or we can create references of this class type where an object from any derived class can be assigned. So essentially, we can create subclasses of this abstract class where we can manipulate what's going on. Now, to create an abstract class, you're going to say public abstract class name, and then every undefined method is going to have this visibility modifier of abstract, the return type and method name. So this is a very new visibility modifier, and we usually only use it with an abstract class, and it's going to be kind of in this parent abstract class. Now, why are these abstract classes useful? Well, they're going to be a set of derived classes that have the same operation, but they might implement it differently. For instance, our driving example from last week, a van, a car, and a Jeep might all drive, but they might do it at different speeds or different ways. And now another thing here is that this method called drive, for instance, could be part of the base class, but it will not be defined there. Now, after we go ahead and say, okay, the abstract class is going to have an abstract drive method. After we do that, we can then say that the base class is abstract, and then it has an undefined drive method, which all these other classes will implement. And we'll do that together during this lecture. And to actually see this in action here before we make our own, we're going to look at this employee.java file. So this employee.java file is inside of your week 10 folder. And you'll notice here that we have this syntax at the very top, public abstract class employee. And now this is a new one. So if I went ahead and in this employee class, you'll see that I have a regular employee constructor, and then I also have a parameterized constructor. We don't need to worry about error checking for the time being. It's not that big of an issue. We have this toString method for each employee, but you'll notice on here that we have this public abstract double monthly pay. Now this right here is an abstract method, and it's a part of this abstract class. And if I actually delete an abstract from the class up here, you'll notice that I get an error down here. The abstract method monthly pay and type employee can only be defined by an abstract class. So if you're making an abstract method in your class, you need to make sure that the class itself is abstract too. Now, again, what's going on here? Well, let's take a look at these hourly and salaried files here. We'll notice that this class hourly and salaried both extend employee. So we're using extends instead of the other one that was implements, and implements again was for interfaces. Because this is a class, it's going to extend it. You'll notice that I have the hourly salary and hours worked in this area here, and I now create a new constructor, and we'll see here that I have a super. So I go ahead and I pass it back to my public class over here. My name and social security number are set. And then go ahead and I set my two new variables that I had over here. And we'll notice now, we'll see that I have this public double monthly pay, which is the same name as this abstract class, but the abstract modifier is missing. And why is it missing? Well, what happens here if I go ahead and comment out this one? I get a weird error up here. If you actually look at this, my code is perfectly fine. I don't have any compilation errors, but let's take a look at what this red error is. The type hourly must implement the inherited abstract method employee.monthlypay. So this is really helpful if you're designing something where you're not sure about how different each class is going to be, but you know for sure that they just share a similar method. And for instance here, monthly pay is a method that they all need to share. So that's what we're going to use. So let's go ahead and try to define this a little bit more with a week 10. I'm going to go ahead and make a new class, and I'm just going to call this vehicle. And what I'll say here is I'm going to make this an abstract class. And we'll see now nothing major pretty much happens. I'm going to make a default constructor. And then I'm just going to make protected int speed. And let's just say that it only can go in increments of like 1, so it's not like too complex there. And then I'll say public vehicle. And what this will do is it's going to be a constructor, and I'm going to set my default speed to 10. Now we'll see here as well that I can go ahead and try to implement some protected, or excuse me, I could say public abstract drive forward. And now we'll see here. Oh, I'm missing return type. I'll just say void for the time being. It's just going to increment my speed up a little bit by 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a second one. Drive backward. And then what I'll also say is that I'm going to go ahead and get a string abstract method of a string. And I'm going to say, call this get speed. Cool. Now what I want to do is, let's just say I'm a factory. I know that every vehicle I'm going to produce from my factory needs to have a certain speed. It's going to need to be able to drive forward and backward, and I'm going to need to be able to get the speed. I have no idea what types of cars I will make those. Let's just say I have one as a van. And what I could say here is my public class van extends the vehicle Java class. Now I notice right away that let's just say that each of these extra types of items here get a more advanced by having a color class in them. Excuse me. So this is going to be a little bit different because I can get the color of the van. So let's just say that I have a public string color for the van. And now what I'm going to do is my public van constructor is going to take in an attribute of color and then an int of speed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to super the speed variable over to my parent class, and then I'm going to say color is equal to, and I'll put eye color, so it's like in color. I guess I could put in speed in color so we don't get it confused with eye color. And then I'm going to super speed over. Let's double check one thing. Should be good. And speed. Cool. So that's vehicle. And my vehicle is missing. Oh, that's my default constructor. I'm going to add one more parameterized constructor here so that I get one where I can get a certain speed. Vehicle int in speed. Cool. So I'll make something like this. This guy's working now, and you'll notice here I'm still getting an error. So what is this error I'm getting? Well, if I hover over my van, oh, what did I forget I said earlier? Well, my factory requires every car to drive forward, backward, and to get my speed. So I'm going to click add unimplemented methods, and lo and behold, I get all the methods that I need to implement. So what I'll say here for my string is I'm going to say, you know what? How about I just return van going, then I'll say speed, then I'll say miles per hour. That's the string I'm going to return here. And then I have a drive backward. What I'll do here is I'm just going to decrement by 5 my variable, and I'm going to increment by 5 this variable over here. And now what we can do here is, how do I actually go ahead and create this? So what I'm going to do is, one more time, I'm going to create a driver file. So I'm going to say vehicle driver file. Let me quickly add in a pub void main. So, and again, these will be provided for you right away, but if you feel more comfortable creating these together, that's fine too. It's depending on if you just like reviewing code on your own, it's up to you. And what I want to showcase is, we haven't done this yet. I think Payday was the file here. You'll notice here that we can actually make 2 different types of objects here using this vehicle driver. So to go ahead and get started, we're usually familiar with making a vehicle, new car, vehicle new car is equal to new vehicle, like so. But the issue here is that vehicle is actually an abstract class. See here, it has the word abstract, and we get this error. We can't actually instantiate an abstract class. It's uncreatable. So what we need to do is actually create it based off of this van that's right here. So van. And this van, of course, we're going to have to provide it a color and a speed. So I'm just going to give it the color of blue and a speed of 15, like so. There we go. Sorry, I forgot to add in my static keyword up there. So what we're doing here now is we'll see that I'm starting up my vehicle driver, like so. And now I create a new car. Well, notice the main thing I have to change here is that I don't need to actually do this. I can do this technically, but what I could say is that I'm going to create a vehicle, new car, and it's going to be a new van. So what you could do as well is this vehicle type. That's an interesting thing you could do, in the Payday does that as well. And after we create this, we could say here, why don't I try to do new car dot drive backward, and let's try to print out this line of code again. We'll see that van is going 10, and then let me try to do new car dot drive forward twice. Try to print this guy out one more time. And now we'll see we're going 20. So again, this is what abstract classes are. This is why they're useful. And what you could try to do here is try to add in another vehicle class, such as a car or a sports car or like a truck, and try to implement it to be a little bit different. But again, the whole idea is that this abstract class is going to help us remember what abstract methods we need to implement and the attributes that are required for each of them.